Hello, Namaskar. This is Firstpost and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. Happy to be back in the studio, even more with what we have to report tonight. China is changing its tune, praising India and hurrying up the normalization. That's because of the threat called Donald Trump. That threat looms for Beijing. He's picking his cabinet and it's full of China hawks, people who have taken a tough position on Beijing on trade, technology and security. So the message for Xi Jinping is quite clear, which is why he's rushing to fix things with India. We'll bring you the details and also the names that have made the cut for Trump's top team. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is celebrating the US election result, touching a record high of almost $90,000. We'll tell you why. In Canada, Hindu temples face more threats after the attacks last week, forcing them to cancel community events. What is North Korea's new military pact with Russia? Why India and Pakistan are at loggerheads over the Champions Trophy? What has led to the violence flaring up in Manipur? What is the Taliban doing at the COP29 climate summit and why top world leaders are missing? Why China is grappling with traffic jams because of soup dumplings? And why scientists say Uranus, the planet, has been misunderstood for decades. All this and more coming up. The headlines first. Crisis in Germany, headed for an early election on the 23rd of February. The country's biggest political parties have agreed on a timetable. Just days ago, Chancellor Olaf Scholz's coalition had collapsed. The political turmoil comes amid Germany's economic woes. Europe's biggest economy is set to shrink for the second consecutive year. Israel announces the opening of an additional aid crossing into Gaza. It comes on the eve of a US-imposed deadline which called for improving the humanitarian conditions for Palestinians. Last month, Washington had warned Israel to improve aid delivery to Gaza or risk its military assistance. Senegalese Prime Minister calls for vengeance after alleged attacks on his party supporters by the opposition. The violence erupted during campaigning for Sunday's parliamentary election. In September, the president had dissolved the opposition-dominated parliament. A car plows into people in South China, killing at least 35. More than 40 people have also been injured. Police say the driver was a 62-year-old man who was upset over his divorce. He rammed his car into people exercising at a sports center. He's currently in a coma after self-inflicted injuries. And several French media groups sue X, accusing the Elon Musk-owned company of running their content without payment. The newspapers have also asked for an emergency injunction against the social media platform. The lawsuit seeks several million euros in damages.